So good morning, everyone, and welcome. It's a great pleasure to open today's event dedicated to Vietnam legal framework for digital assets. And this event is co-organized by Crypto Valley Association, Swiss Viet Economic Forum, and the Asia Legal. So huge thank you to our partners. Vietnam has become one of the most dynamic countries in the world for crypto adoption. And according to the 2025 Global Adoption Index, the country now ranks among the top 5 globally, with around 17 million holders and more than $200 billion in annual trading volume. So today we are honored to have with us Richard Liu, Managing Partner at Asia Legal, and Tuan Phung, Managing Partner at VCI Legal. Correct me if I misspelled it. Who will share with us insights on the latest legal developments and opportunities for foreign business in Vietnam. So please note we have a Q&A section, so you can either drop your question in the Q&A section in Zoom, or we also will try to give some time and maybe unmute some participants to address some questions at the end after the presentations. So we look forward to the engaging discussion and productive discussion. And I suggest let's get started. Richard, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Olga. Hi, everyone. I will start with the presentation. Just wait a minute. I will share my screen. No, not this one. Okay, can you see? Can you see the slide?
Yes, all good.
Is it okay now?
Yes, I think it's all right.
Okay, thank you so much. So I would like to start with the legal framework for crypto asset in Vietnam. And as you may know, Vietnam has one of the highest acceptance rates of crypto in the world. And I would like to bring you some figures. In 2024, about 17 million Vietnamese people, that account, let's say, 15% of the adult population in Vietnam, already own and use digital asset. And the total transaction value exceeded 100 billion US dollars in 2025, ranking Vietnam's third position in the Asia Pacific region. And Vietnam still has a high potential market with very young population and strong tech adoption, but everything was happening in a gray area for a long time until 2025. And since 2025, Vietnam has taken a bold step. We obviously have the law for digital asset in Vietnam. So in this presentation, I will cover three main parts. The first one, the market situation and the legal background before Vietnam had a legal framework. And the second part is Vietnam's current legal approach toward digital and crypto assets. And the last part, the pilot program with its opportunities and challenge for foreign investor. The rapid growth of crypto asset and crypto transaction in Vietnam also came with problems. From late 2019 to mid 2024, authorities in Vietnam uncovered nearly 20,000 fraud cases and causing damage of more than 12,000 billion Vietnamese dong. And you can see an examples on the slide, an X case, but 2021, Shark Bing, a very well-known investor and one shark from Vietnamese version of Shark Tank, and now 2.5 million USD investment in UnX, a so-called decentralized finance ecosystem in Vietnam. And what made this project so popular in Vietnam is not just the crypto asset. It was the fact that Tuan Phung himself was behind it, offering both mentorships and also media support. And because of the credibility and the public image of he built from Shark Tank Vietnam, the project quickly gained much attention, and many investors jump in purely out of FOMO without really understanding what the project is about. But very shortly after launching, the unbacked token price reduced nearly 90%, 99% actually, and the project website along its with its social channels disappear. And in 2022, they rebranded to Rabbit, but the new token also lost around 95% of its value. And this whole case exposed several issues: the transparency, the legal protection, and the FOMO-driven investor who did not understand the risk. So in the past few years, Vietnam has suffered a series of incidents and claims of losses from investors with no official framework. And the authority mainly issue warning. They send multiple warnings about using and trading crypto assets, but such warnings keep triggering debates over the crypto assets. For instance, under the decree on non-cash payment since 2016, cryptocurrencies or crypto assets don't fall into any list of the valid non-cash payment method. So their use for payment won't be prohibited. But at that time, Vietnam already have Momo, a digital wallet application allowing Vietnamese citizens to top up the digital money and use for day-to-day payment. The point is whether digital money stored in Momo is considered as cryptocurrencies or crypto asset or not. If yes, that means that any license provider can issue and circulate crypto asset. Then, in 2017, the State Bank of Vietnam confirmed Bitcoin and Litecoins or similar token would neither recognized as a fiat money nor legal means of payment. But afterward, in several court cases in 2023 and 24, involving a stealing of cold wallet containing 1,000 bitcoins and also tax evasion in Vietnam arising from Bitcoin transaction also triggered debates on whether crypto should be considered as properties or taxable income. And the State Bank of Vietnam repeatedly sent different warning about the risk of unlicensed exchange of digital assets. The State Bank of Vietnam claims such activities may fall into the scope of the foreign exchange business. This can only be performed by licensed company. So after a lot of incidents and claims, in late 2023, Vietnam began to acknowledge the transformative roles of crypto assets in the modern digital world. And to adapt to new trends, Vietnam government assigned the State Bank of Vietnam and also the Ministries of Finance to cooperate, research, and develop a foundational legal framework for digital asset and crypto sector. And in mid-2024, the first draft of the law on digital asset, on digital technology industry was introduced. And for the first time, Vietnamese law formally recognized digital asset as a type of property. And then in mid-2000 and mid-2025, the law on digital technology industry was officially enacted and become effective from the 1st of January 2026. Just a few days after the enactment of this law, Vietnam also made some amendment to the laws on investment and added crypto-related service to the list of conditional business line. And so basically, there are two conditions for foreign investor to conduct business in crypto in Vietnam: the market asset condition, and the second, the business condition. Since crypto-related services only appears in the conditional business line, it means that Vietnam consider crypto industries as a promising but risky sector open to foreign investment under very strict regulation and also licensing requirements. So the law on digital technology industry 2025 introduced a new legal concept for Vietnam, and it also laid out many noteworthy provisions. But in this presentation, I will focus on only three main points. The first one, the law classified digital asset into three categories. The first one, the virtual assets. And the second one, the crypto asset equal to virtual asset, but based on cryptography. And the third one, other digital asset. It means we leave the room for future innovation. And given that framework, given that this framework remain very broad and experimental, the government also issue resolution 0.05 2025, establishing a pilot mechanism for a regulated crypto asset. And this is, in my view, a bold step as it also allow for investors to play a central role in shaping the crypto market in Vietnam. We figure out some key principles of this resolution. In terms of the business condition, there's actually two main conditions applicable for foreign investors in Vietnam, as I mentioned above. The first one, the market access condition, and the second one is business condition. And this resolution also offers some business condition as below. Firstly, the foreign investor must create a joint venture with a Vietnamese partner. And secondly, at least 65% charter capital of the joint venture must be owned by the organizational members or shareholder that engage in at least two sectors of the following list: the bank, securities, insurance, and technology. And thirdly, the foreign ownership is capped at 49% in the joint venture. And the fourth one, the crypto-related entities must be licensed by the Ministry of Finance. And the fifth condition include other requirements and also qualification applicable to the CTO, to the CEO, the cybersecurity staff, and also cybersecurity system, and the risk management procedures. The next point is in terms of financial safety first. During the pilot phase, the Ministry of Finance also reserved the right to suspend or terminate the pilot activities if system or the market risks arise. And in terms of the foreign exchange control, all transactions must be done in Vietnamese dong, and foreign investors must operate through VND accounts at licensed banks in Vietnam. And in terms of taxation, the temporary apply similar to security transaction. It means the tax will be applied similar to security transaction, and there's no detailed tax guideline. But there's another interesting point is that any issue crypto asset must be fully backed by real assets such as real estate, goals, or communities. Consequently, unbacked cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Ethereum or any NFTs that are not eligible for public trading. And each crypto-related enterprise must have a minimum paid-up capital of 10,000 billion Vietnamese dong, equivalent to approximately 380 million USD. And from my perspective, these principles are designed to control fraud and eliminate pump and dump tokens and also foster institutional grade confidence in Vietnam crypto market. However, this framework also means that only large-scale players with strong balance sheets can really enter the market in Vietnam. So, what does this mean to foreign investor? We can see that The first one, the market behavior in Vietnam, so that the local trader in Vietnam often speculate. And speculation, you can say that is very popular in Vietnam in any business like real estate, gold, securities, or even collectible assets. And this mindset has contributed to numerous cycles of fraud, raising capitals, pumping price, and dumping tokens over the past few years. So it may take a considerable amount of time and also make marketing efforts and also education and communication to establish a healthy, transparent crypto investment culture in Vietnam. Secondly, the high entry barrier, as I said above, it requires 10,000 billion Vietnamese dong, around 380 million USD in paid-up capital together with very strict cyber securities and government requirements also mean that only well-capitalized financial institutions will qualify for entry. They also limit the market diversities in the short term. Of course, it ensures higher institutional credibility and reduce systematic risks. Despite this challenge, we can see that some opportunities, very clear opportunities in Vietnam. Currently, the Ministry of Finance already announced that there are only 5 enterprises can enter into this market, and we did not list, we don't show on this slide, but we have seven big players to join the race. But there's some confirmation from the Ministry of Finance that they only provide the license to six, actually to 5 businesses only. So it means that every license projects at this time, will attract significant attentions and trading volume from Vietnamese investor, allowing early entrant to shape market perceptions and establish a dominant position before the legal framework matures. And of course, we also have a strong potential given how easily Vietnamese people accept crypto assets and technology utilities, and especially the chance to develop real estate tokenization for real estate goals and communities. In short, Vietnam is transitioning from a legal gray area to a structured but highly regulated framework for investor. This also represents both opportunities and risks. Opportunity because we have a young, dynamic, and fast-growing market, but also risk because it is closely supervised and still evolving markets in Vietnam. So I think I just give you some brief information about the crypto, the legal development in Vietnam in terms of the digital asset. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Richard. I have a quick question about these current holders, 17 million holders, and the legal treatment of these holdings. Are they recognized? Because I believe they have some wallets in foreign exchange. Otherwise, how else it would be possible? How they are considered now? Is it legal?
Actually, they still so that they're very interested in the crypto asset transaction in Vietnam, and of course they are they are submitting the application dossier and try to make sure that all conditions and requirements as per the law of Vietnam are met. And there are big players in Vietnam, including the banks and also securities. The bank like MP Bank, the military bank in Vietnam, and VP Bank, also another it is actually a private bank in Vietnam, or Techcombank, very popular bank, and it also private bank in Vietnam. Or we have the SSID technology company in Vietnam. They are all big players in Vietnam, and I believe that they understand all the requirements as per the law of Vietnam, so that they can set up the crypto asset trading platform. And only when, of course, when they see that they can meet all the conditions, then they apply for the license.
Yeah,
Uh,
you mean these 5 companies, right?
Yes, yes.
I think the question was about a 17 million user holder, right?
Yeah, the current, because you remember at the beginning you said that this part of population, like 17 million, it's also the data officially published, they're already holding crypto. So how now these current holdings, how are they recognized?
I think because of the law of Vietnam provide that after the cryptocurrency platform is licensed to operate in Vietnam, within a 6 month, such holder must transact. Otherwise, they can face up with some administrative penalties or criminal offense in Vietnam. So we
So
give after the crypto asset market in Vietnam is officially come into play, then these owners should transact on the platform so that they can be recognized as the official owners of crypto asset in Vietnam.
only to licensed entities, right? They can only hold crypto
No,
license.
no. Also, Vietnamese individual can also own the crypto asset.
Yes, but owned by where? Like with foreign exchange, I believe they cannot.
Yeah, we all know that before we have the new laws on digital technology in 2025, many Vietnamese people still own the crypto asset and trade it on international platforms, not in Vietnam. So we
And,
have to recognize that fact. There's no way. We have to accept that fact.
mm.
Yes.
And after 2026, this setup still will be recognized as legal.
They won't be recognized after they trade on the licensed platform in Vietnam. And the law also provide them for 6 months as a deadline so that they can do transaction on the platform so that they can recognize as official owners of the crypto asset in Vietnam.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
may I just may I just add a little clarification here. Well, the thing is that the ownership itself by itself is not considered an offense. So you are required to do transactions on a license exchange.
Yes.
If they choose not to transact, they can still hold it. So the 70 million user holder, right, as an asset, it is recognized as an asset. However,
Yes.
if you want to do transaction, you need to do it through the license exchange, and therefore, it's in one hand the government legalized the crypto transaction. On the other hand, they want to put it under the control of the government under the new decree, new
Yep.
resolution.
Yep.
Okay.
So the
Does it make
owners
sense?
the owners, if you just simply own and you do not carry out any transactions, and it's okay. But once you do transaction, you must do on the licensed platform in Vietnam.
Mhm. Let's
Yes.
say you have some crypto on your ledger, and if you want to transact it, you need to convert it only through the license platform under the new.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And if the company would collaborate, like the banks, would they allow to provide these facilities and provide these transactions, facilitate the transactions? Let's say if Vietnam banks, they enter in some collaboration, or they figure out how to develop their own infrastructure for these kind of transactions, would they be allowed to
No, my understanding is that it is very highly regulated business in Vietnam. Infrastructure is only one of the condition. As I said, we have different requirements so that you can do the crypto asset trading in Vietnam. So the bank will understand that they are, let's say, a financial institution. They have very strong infrastructure, and even they have the cheap technology officials. You have many other conditions, but at least they have to apply for the license.
Well,
Yes.
the thing is that sorry, if I can chime in just for clarification, the bank, indeed were required to be one of the obligatory participant or shareholder of the crypto exchange. You see, many of those are expected. So it's number one. So if the bank want to participate into this game, they should join hand with security firm, with technical firm in order to be able to offer the exchange,
Yeah.
technically and financially. So there is an official role for the bank to play already.
Yeah.
So if any bank want to get into this activity, into this trade, yes, they can, but they do it in a way that that is required, that is regulated under the new regulation. So to answer your question, it's yes and no at the same time, indeed. Yeah.
Because I believe these requirements that Richard just highlighted, these minimum capital requirements, and there's a structure of ownership, it applies only to foreign business, right? If your own company, a local
No,
company,
for the foreign ownership, as per the resolution, the maximum on foreign investment is only 49%.
Mhm.
Yes, only not 49%. And in terms of the organization, at least 65% charter capitals must be owned by organizational members or shareholders. And those shareholders should operate in at least two sectors, as I listed, banks, securities, insurance, or technology.
Yes.
And only one condition apply for investment is the maximum shareholding, 49% only.
Mhm.
Yes.
So, and I believe any other, let's say, European license would not be recognized, right? Let's say if European licensed entity would want to.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Yeah. Because as you asked from the beginning, that whether there's any bank with strong infrastructure in Vietnam can do crypto asset trading, I say no, because there must be a different license, and that different license also issued by the Ministry of Finance. So a license trading platforms in Europe does not mean that they also license trading platform in Vietnam. Only when that trading platform is licensed by the Ministry of Finance of Vietnam. And of course, to meet the license, to obtain the license, they have to satisfy a number of conditions and requirements as I list in my presentation, so that they can be eligible to obtain the license to do the crypto asset trading in Vietnam.
Right.
Yeah.
We have also one question from the participant
Yes.
to define foreign ownership. For example, if a non-Vietnamese opens a company entity that is registered in Vietnam, is it considered foreign? Let's say
It is. Yeah.
you have the presence substance in Vietnam, but you have a foreign owner, like UBO is a foreign person.
So
Yeah,
you
well,
mean
Yeah.
go ahead,
the
Richard.
you mean the foreign invested enterprise in Vietnam, right? They set up a company in Vietnam, and then also they want to apply to obtain the license for crypto asset trading. But actually, there's no explicit restriction on foreign investor establishing holding structure in Vietnam to indirectly control crypto-related entities. It is not clear now. So it means that when a foreign investor come to Vietnam and set up a new company, we call foreign invested companies. And then the foreign invested company will set up a joint venture with a Vietnamese partner. So it is not clear in terms of the foreign shareholding in this scenario, because the foreign invested companies in Vietnam is not considered as the foreign investor as per the law on investment of Vietnam. So we are not clear on that issue. But my understanding that the foreign shareholding also apply to the foreign invested enterprise in Vietnam. If the foreign invested enterprise in Vietnam set up a joint venture with the local partners in Vietnam to apply for the license to do crypto asset trading. Yes.
What I think the question, the people who asking the question need to provide the you know the contact. Are they asking about the owner, the trader, the exchange itself, or what? In foreign nationality can be observed from different angle. Yeah. So if you're talking about the owner, the trader, then if you are set up in Vietnam, then and you can be considered a local entity. Yeah.
Yeah.
You are, because you set up under the law in Vietnam, you consider a local entity and you subject to local regulation. But if you're talking about the license, the holder of the exchange license, then there's a limit of 49%. Yeah. So
Yes, I think this is exactly the question. Let's say you set up, like you're as a Swiss entity, you set up your 100% subsidiary in Vietnam, but this subsidiary, would this subsidiary be considered with the local substance, with everything? We are not talking yet about the license, but we are talking just about the foreign ownership structure and kind of the definition, what is behind in the context of this law. Let's say we set up a company in Vietnam. I believe it is allowed to have a 100% foreign ownership for Vietnam.
Yes,
of course.
So let's say we have Vietnam entity already. So it's with the local presence, with the local substance, everything active there in Vietnam.
Yeah.
This local entity would either establish another entity which would apply for the license, or
Yes.
itself be active, would want to be active in let's say exchange, crypto exchange transactions. Would this entity be considered as a foreign, being established already in Vietnam because of the foreign UBO, or this entity can be recognized as a local?
Yeah.
For the context of this 49 ownership.
The resolution is not clear on that issue, but my suggestion and my understanding as per the law on investment in Vietnam, even the foreign invested enterprise in Vietnam is set up in Vietnam as a Vietnam entity. They still subject to 49%. If they want to set up a joint venture with a local partner, then apply for the license. It is my understanding, because as I said from the beginning, it is very, let's say, highly regulated business in Vietnam. So we may also control and supervise the Vietnam entity to be established by the foreign investor. Probably in the second layers or the third layers, we can avoid that foreign shareholding. But for the first layer, I believe that with the first layer, the Vietnam entities to be established by the foreign investors still subject for foreign shareholding of maximum 49% as per the slide I just mentioned before.
Well, it is, of course, you're talking about 100% foreign ownership in that company. So that company is a foreign-owned company, right?
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
local legal entity which is owned by the foreign shareholder. Okay, so it's considered foreign shareholder. It's obvious. So if you want to participate in the exchange, let's say you want to apply for the exchange license, you have 49% cap.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's simple like that. Yeah,
Okay.
they're talking about the foreign ownership. They're not talking about just a title,
Yes.
the name of the company or the type of the company. Here we're talking about ownership, so it's easy to identify.
Okay. Tuan, I think we should maybe continue with your presentation because we have not much time left, and let's start
Okay,
off part.
Okay, thank you.
all
And
right.
while you're opening your slides, I just wanted to clarify because we have another question about crypto holdings in that now use, for example, Binance or Kraken. Let's say if the person from Vietnam now has a wallet with Kraken, does it mean if consider Kraken will not be recognized from 2026 yet? So this person would need to transfer these funds from Kraken if this person would want to proceed with some transactions to another wallet to the exchange which is recognized from 2026 in Vietnam. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm not sure because actually it is only the pilot programs. Implementation in Vietnam is still a big question for me. But at least we see, probably we may see some further instruction in the future in terms of the operation, so that we can answer exactly the question.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Well,
again,
the technicality of that is rather unclear because but I don't know if they need to have a separate wallet to join the local exchange. Yeah, the technicality is being working on as we're talking now. So we wait for the decree, the detailed decree. So that is subject to be clarified later. But yeah, there's a possibility that you can still have your wallet, and if your wallet is registered and recognized with the local exchange, then you can continue with your wallet, I guess.
and once again, if, for example, Kraken would want to keep its presence in Vietnam, it won't be enough just to open the subsidiary or branch in Vietnam. Kraken would need first to enter to this GV as Richard described, right? With 65% structure, with 49% structure, with 65% of presence, right?
Right. If they want to offer the exchange service to the owner, to the customer in Vietnam.
So they need proceed like enter to some JV in locally, and still it won't be enough. They need to be recognized and get the
Yeah.
license from Minister of
Yeah.
Finance.
Yeah.
Mm.
If that platform also accept. Yeah.
Yes.
And do you know anything about penalties? Let's say, okay, we don't know yet how these holdings will be treated. We are waiting for this decree for Vietnam people, but let's say for exchange, if let's say still there are some holdings from Vietnam residents on Kraken, would there will be some consequences, some penalties, would Vietnam impose something on this exchange?
The penalties, yeah, the penalty is not clear, is not provided as per the resolution. As I said, they just have some provisions saying that there might be some administrative penalties or criminal penalties or something like that, and that's all. And we still need for further instruction from the government of Vietnam. It is easy to understand because it is actually a pilot program. And then the pilot program, there's a lot of questions, there are a lot of problems, and we cannot answer at this moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Don, let's continue maybe with your presentation because we are running out of time, and you have also quite
Yes.
Sure.
slides. You can share the screen.
So, okay, I can share the screen, right? Okay, I'm sending the request.
All good. You should be able.
Uh-huh. Okay. So how do I do it now? Is that accepted already?
Yes, you should be able to share it now.
Uh-huh. Okay, here we go. Okay. Can you see it?
Now.
Yes, now we see it.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you.
you.
Oh, hang on a second. Somehow it become all right. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, this is the first line. Okay. Right, thank you. You hear me well, right? Let's cut to the chase. Well, VCI Legal and this and that. It is, just an introduction material. The slide, it's okay to skip to that and come to the resolution. Yeah. Oh, hang on a second. It come with the, hang on. What the caption? Okay. I want to turn off the caption here. How can I turn off the caption underneath? Okay. Okay. Do not show caption. Okay. Now I can share, right? Okay. Can you see it?
Quick 1 minute. Probably. Okay.
For whatever reason, it just pop up with the caption underneath. Can somebody help with that? Stop the caption
I
because it
stopped
keeps
already.
showing.
I stopped. You can start sharing now.
Yeah, I'm sharing. Do you see that?
Yeah, well, but I think we can keep going. It's fine.
Uh-huh. Do you see the caption underneath?
Yeah, we do see.
Oh, okay. Well, it cover my screen. So, but anyway, let's just jump into the IFC. So it's for first time there's a International Financial Center to be officially set up in Vietnam. As you may notice, there's a congressional resolution for abbreviation. Let's call it resolution 222. All right, which is passed by the last June when I was in Zurich. Indeed, I was in Zurich earlier for the Swiss Vietnam Economic Forum, and we were briefly talking about that. But then back then it's still a draft. Now it's officially the resolution of the Congress. So in terms of value, it's the equivalent of a new law to be applied, and it has been it has been the let's say the mother ship for many other new regulation which is under development now, and it is there would be at least 8 other new decree to be applied, to be issued under the mothership here. So to detail the establishment, the management, and the control, and the operation of the IFC. So the purpose of that. So let's just begin with a question that many people ask when they hear about especially people in Vietnam. It's appear to be a pretty confusing definition indeed. They was asking, why would anybody need an international financial center in the first place? Because as a matter of fact, many people believe it still believe it as a group of as a areas of real estate development with borders and fence and gate, so that people can enter and coming in and coming out, and so on and so forth. So the concept of the International Finance Center can be considered both legally and geographically, basically. So it's a definitive area within the existing cities of Da Nang and Ho Chi Minh City. Okay, and it's designated for the operation of the financial institution. And with that, there's a group of regulation that are different from the rest of the country regulation in order to create a special treatment, a special, let's say, special legal and financial zone, which is some virtual zone that exists within the activity within the cyberspace, so to speak, of the country as well anywhere in the world, that international company, foreign company can come in and set up their company and register their status as a member and operate under the foreign law. In particular, most likely, they will follow the UK model of the International Financial Center, and adopt the well, at least recognize up to a certain level of the common law system. Reason being, it's a legal system that are most let's say consistent, most familiar with all of the financial institution operation. So and they even going to have court that recognize the common law, and church, common law church, being foreign church being recruited for the International Financial Center dispute resolution body. And there would be a designated court called IFC court, which is reporting to the Supreme Court for the financial center. So it is a serious effort trying to develop a financial and legal areas, a special one called International Financial Center, with the purpose. One may wonder, so what is the point? Vietnam has been, having a lot of institutional activity, institution that are operate in financial markets, in capital markets, and there's a lot of financial transaction happen every moment of the day. So why would Vietnam need some international financial center anymore? The point is that the country development model had reached a certain limit, or reached the ceiling of development, and they want to develop more. What Vietnam is missing right now is the recognition on the financial market and the flow, the transaction activity that are happening in Vietnam is still very small, very insignificant comparing with the world market. The good news here is that Vietnam just a few days ago recognized as a new status of the capital market as a frontier market now. So with that, the rating is increased and credibility is increased. And therefore, there should be more trade, there should be more incoming, outgoing of the capital that take place easier. So basically, that means more money and cheaper money can come into Vietnam, right? But even with that, it's going to take years before a stock market, it's a traditional financial market, can be fully developed. If it still function under the local regulation, follow the same norm and follow the same model that are existing under the law in Vietnam, such as law on foreign investment a while ago, and now become foreign investment, law on foreign exchange, and law on credit institution, law on security, so on and so forth. The system, the legal system in Vietnam is just basically inconsistent with the global financial system, and it doesn't work well with London, with Tokyo, with Hong Kong or Singapore, which is the majority of those, New York also. The system that work on the basis of common law. Therefore, Vietnam want to harmonize itself, want to synchronize itself with the rest of the world in terms of the financial transaction. And therefore, with that, they hope would be bring in many more foreign investment and make the transaction from Vietnam internationalized as much as they can. And therefore, in order to do that, the Congress of Vietnam decided to develop the resolution that allowed that international financial center model to take place in Ho Chi Minh City and in Da Nang, the two cities, the two biggest commercial hub in the center and the southern part of Vietnam. And with the effort to materialize that strategy, that new development strategy. And you may see here, the interesting thing is that although Vietnam decided it should only have one financial center, perhaps because, one financial center is hard enough to attract international investor and trader, or from the point of view of the management point of view, it probably make more sense to have a consistent regulation, consistent management agency, supervisory agency, as well as a dispute resolution agency. So one country, two system is similar concept here from the financial point of view. Then Vietnam consider, since Hong Kong, as is serving as a port of attracting foreign investment to mainland China, and that worked quite well. So perhaps Vietnam should also have something in similar, and therefore we also this is part of the reason why we have the financial center officially announced and launched as a two commercial hub in the center and in the southern part of Vietnam. So basically, what you see here is and together with the executive, so basically within the IFC, there would be two key agencies that are functioning together in order to make sure that the financial transaction in investment can take place smoothly. So one is an executive agency, that's a management board, managing all the operation. The other one is supervisory agency, overseeing the compliant enforcement of the law within itself. And the third one is a dispute resolution body, which is a specialized course in International Arbitration Center, as one can see. So Da Nang is the one that probably would be serving more, on the unconventional kind of financial activity, i.e., crypto, as we talk about, as digital asset, as well as fintech, the new green finance, and digital service, so on and so forth. And while Ho Chi Minh City is more focused onto the traditional financial market, being banking, monetary market, sandbox mechanism for fintech, innovation in the financial sectors, trading platform, commodity markets, so on and so forth. But I do realize that here there's a overlapping between the activity of the two locations. But yet that is the purpose, to have two locations that are working together at the same time and maybe are complementary to each other in terms of market, appeal, in terms of operational effectiveness, so on and so forth. So with that being said, so what is indeed the special about international financial center, right? One may ask. So basically, they believe that there's 14 key areas of policy that are necessary for the international player to come and doing business in the international financial center in Vietnam. And the purpose is to exceed global standard and align with international norm, in order to make it more attractive, so that you can attract international investor to come in. So basically, we're talking about foreign exchange policy, banking operation, finance and innovation, tax incentive, which is applicable for both corporate income tax and personal income tax, the entry, exit, and residence of people who are working at the International Financial Center. Basically, they can come into Vietnam easy with a visa, and they can be exempted from income tax up to a certain level, and they can, and in terms of employment and social security policy also, that come with a lot of favorable treatment, and the land also is designated and prioritized to be awarded, to be land, to be leased to the customer, to the company that are members of the International Finance Center. The approach to capital market, incentive by sector, and infrastructure development, and export, import, distribution of goods and services, fee and charge, labor, and policy, favorable investment policy for strategic investor. Those are the area. The detail will come in a little, in a few slides, as you can see here. The law that is applicable for the IFC, as you can see here, are the combination of different type of regulation. So the IFC regulation by itself, the Vietnamese, the local Vietnamese, the domestic Vietnamese law, foreign law, yeah, and as I mentioned before, common law could be adopted, could be recognized, and foreign church and with designated court with foreign church would also be hearing cases and setting the standard for dispute resolution. And in terms of authority, the membership of the financial center, International Financial Center. So basically, they targeting the big player, the big investor. And therefore, if you're a member of Fortune 500 or top 10 player in finance and investment, top 10 insurance company, then you can be accepted automatically without waiting for the recognition by the management board of the IFC. The other will need to register for membership. And you are own member, and own member are expected to have commercial presence within the IFC itself. And security sector, then you need to be a limited company under with the license from the SSC, the State Security Commission. And the right of the member, you can raise foreign fund without license, without additional license from the local authority, from the state bank, and you can choose to apply the International Accounting Center instead of Vietnamese one. The you need to follow the forex rule, but then essentially you should be able to convert, and do foreign forex, transaction without additional license. So,
Tuan, I'm really sorry
yes.
to interrupt you. Well, the webinar was scheduled until 10. I know that people also probably have other obligations for today. Let's maybe, could you just provide some bullet points about this National Financial Center? I mean, we see that the dispute resolution structure is already very big step, and I think it will facilitate a lot of processes for foreign investments. But maybe
Mhm.
also if you could summarize from the perspective of what we discussed at our first part with Richard, would establishment an entity
Uh-huh.
within the framework of International Financial Center, would it simplify or facilitate certain processes for digital assets?
Right. Right. So let me say it very quickly. Yes, yes. There's a long list of things that need to be covered, so on and so forth in the IFC. But there's what you need to take away from that very briefly from the IFC regulation is that you have an opportunity to set up in the IFC as a foreign company, and you follow the foreign law. So you can do. It isn't clear how is the foreign exchange, the crypto exchange can be set up inside IFC, but it is a possibility. Also, you can have the choice to set up in the as a fintech company, as a crypto company, as a crypto exchange company inside inside the IFC itself, and you are subject to foreign and international law, which Vietnam is a member with. Okay, although you are expected to follow the regulation that are in place, but if you are a member of the IFC, you are subject to a foreign jurisdiction. So that is the number one key point. That after Richard's presentation, that should be taken into account. Okay, that is the main point. But the other thing is about tradings and foreign exchange control and so on and so forth. We can it take a whole day to talk about it. Indeed.
Yeah.
So so basically what you can take away is that it is a special economic the special legal and financial zone that you can set up and you can trade according to international and foreign regulation without too much trouble. Instead of going into that. But then remember, there is a limit that what you can offer globally to the global market instead of not Vietnamese market without comply. If you can comply with the local regulation, yes, you can also provide the service and the product into the domestic market, but you need to comply with the domestic law. If you don't want to comply with domestic law, you just stay within the IFC itself. Okay.
Okay, that's clear.
All right.
Just
Yep.
one last question I see that was also from our participants about this. I think, Richard, it's maybe more a question to you, but feel free to add about this regulated activity from 2026. Is it only licensed activity? Is it only about crypto exchange, or if the company would say be active in tokenization of real world assets or providing some infrastructure, technical infrastructure, would it be also subject to license, or it's purely for crypto exchange transaction or like trading transactions? The license, like the obligation to get the license, is it for only for exchange, or do we have any list of activities which are subject to license activity? Richard? Don't know, Richard.
Hello.
You need to unmute. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, okay. I believe that only licensed platforms are allowed to provide trading activities in Vietnam.
Yes,
So
but what
yeah.
about, let's say, tokenization activity? Let's say companies active providing like tokenization services to tokenize real world assets, tune tokens.
Tokenization, actually, there's no information, no regulations under the resolutions on the tokenization service in Vietnam. But I believe that probably as per my understanding and also my experience in Vietnam, is that is not allowed in Vietnam. Only licensed platforms can operate and can operate in Vietnam.
Okay.
Well, actually, it is you know, possible to do within the purview of resolution number 5 as a you know, real world asset. Real world asset offering you know, tokenization is possible to do subject to the license the regulation, you know. In Vietnam, unfortunately at this point in time they're still working on the detail, so we don't have all of the detail to answer you, but sure, because the new regulation doesn't list out the crypto as one of the asset to be offered by companies set up under the sandbox regulation. Instead, it's focused onto real world asset, into indeed real world asset tokenization. So it's a key areas of development for that the new sandbox regulation is aiming at.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
but the detail is not available now, as Richard mentioned. So we have to wait for the detail. How are we going to apply for the, let's say, company that are offering the service of tokenization real world asset?
Okay.
They are busy and focused onto the exchange, the crypto exchange license now. Indeed.
Okay. Thank you. So thank you both of you for fantastic presentations and insights. We have provided your contacts, and I believe our participants could be able to contact you directly in case of some questions or follow-up. What I also wanted to mention is about the event, the Economic Forum in Da Nang, November, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Beginning.
Yes, that's right.
So
Beginning.
if you can share a few words about this event, what the topics will be covered there. Tuan, I think you will be presented there, right?
Right, I will
Yep.
be presented there, and well, I do have a lot of topic to cover. Indeed, given the fact that Vietnam just in this year going to you know, pass 150 new regulation on, especially the one that are aiming at you know, financial sectors and new technologies and the financial center and so on and so forth. So I'm representing the Vietnam Association of Blockchain and Digital Assets. So again, you know, the very topic that we are talking now, tokenization of real world asset, is one of the topic that I'm going to cover, as well as the you know, dispute resolution mechanism under the new regulation. How are we going to adopt it together with existing arbitration such as VIAC and so we are cooperating with VIAC and so VAFI, VBA and VIAC are cooperating in that front also. So that's a you know, dispute resolution in fintech in crypto transactions, and so that would be the key topics
During the forum. Yeah. Richard, do you have
yeah.
anything also to add?
I will also attend the events in Da Nang next month. So probably we'll also talk something about crypto asset and also digital technology laws in Vietnam. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you again, both of you. We can see that Vietnam made a really step forward to digital assets development, to development of this sector in the country, and not only like legally recognized, but also providing some and facilitating certain processes through International Financial Center. We will share the information with our participants about the Da Nang forum. So for those of you who are interested, you can also see and consider maybe coming and visit this event. And so thank you all of you. Thank you to our guests. And so I wish you nice the rest of the day.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good to see you, people. Xin yêu Da Nang.